Okay, second part to my response video to Pyrrho's response video to Cartoon Karma.
Cartoon Karma, seriously, fuck you. I am so sick of this. See, like I was saying, you're a fanatic and you think we shouldn't exist. So you're going to tell me I don't care, I'm not offended, I don't even acknowledge there's a problem when I do plenty of times in these videos and I make other videos about it. I say we're still...
So you're screaming into the camera and shouting obscenities to people. I find this, I find this discomforting to see. It's not a nice sentiment to throw at people. It's disagreeable, and this disagreeability in human nature is an aspect of human nature that it's not nice to see, and it's unnecessary, because you don't need to bring people into existence in order to experience these negative, angry states, and you don't need to bring people into existence to be the recipient of these angry, emotive outbursts.
Essentially slaves in the form of our economy, and you're saying
slaves? Yeah, I mean, we are pretty much slaves to our DNA, aren't we? I mean, we're slaves to our desires and our needs to make life as good as possible for ourselves. We're slaves to having to eat, to drink, to keep our body temperature at a comfortable, comfortable even keel even. So there's lots of things that we are slaves to as a result of being born.
I don't acknowledge that I'm not outraged to people that starve. I've said solutions to that. What fucking solutions do you guys offer? Well, we could all not exist. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Okay, well that's a caricature of the antinatalist stance, because we're not stupid, or at least I'm not stupid. I recognise that it would be difficult to get the whole entire human race to voluntarily discontinue, but what could be achieved by promoting antinatalism is, as I explained in my first video here, is changing the memes in society, and at least putting the ideas out there that procreation is morally problematic, and attacking the meme perpetuated by society that procreation is somehow morally unproblematic, when it clearly is morally problematic.
Okay, so you need to just... let me explain to you my theory. Somebody reacting like you. You feel guilty that you're a privileged, industrialized person with nothing but fucking pleasure, and so you've decided to be miserable anyway so that you can feel less guilty about all the people that you are stomping on through buying the cheap goods and enjoying the privileges that you were born into. Boo-hoo-hoo, you're really helping out with that fucking attitude.
This is just amateur armchair psychology.
Now don't tell me I don't care about this. I care about those things way more than you. Why? Because you have an excuse to not even think about them. We just all shouldn't exist. Me, I have to...
Okay, if you're an antinatalist, it's not an excuse not to care. I mean, just by the sheer dint of the fact that you're promoting an idea that procreation is morally problematic, you're clearly demonstrating and showing that you have thought about the problems and issues of human suffering, and you've spent some time ruminating on these things. So it's not at all that antinatalists are oblivious to the problems of people's plight. I mean, on the contrary, it shows that you've actually taken it on yourself to think deeply about these problematic issues.
Think, hey, Nazis shouldn't exist. Hey, we should have democracy. Hey, real live things, real ideas that are each one as complicated as this antinatalism thing.
But whether a theory or an argument is valid has nothing to do with the complexity involved in that theory. The only thing that is of importance is whether that argument or that theory is congruent with reality or not.
More so, and yet you need millions of them to solve the issues of the world. But luckily I have a brain, it's built to do that, and there's built
wasn't your brain was not built to deal with humanitarian problems in the world. It was built, to produce, to survive and to reproduce. I mean, our intellects are subservient to our need to survive and reproduce. I mean, there's been 3.5 billion years of evolution geared specifically to do that. So our intelligence wasn't built to deal with these humanitarian problems. We need to hijack our intelligence from its remits in order to address these humanitarian issues and problems in life.
Billions of people in the world. So I think it's not that far-fetched to get millions of solutions out of billions of people.
Sure, you might be able to get millions of solutions from billions of people, but I guarantee what you'll also get is millions of new problems, from billions of people. And it's like a treadmill. I mean, we've made, as a race, we've made tremendous strides forward in our technological and scientific advances, but when it comes to moral issues, and dealing with the problems of suffering in life, we've been on a treadmill. We've made no progress whatsoever.
So, screw yourself with your stupid, you join the human race and you don't even care, and you're so concerned about a guy's right to...
No, I wouldn't say it's that you don't care about, other people's suffering. I'd say it's because due to the evolutionary basis of your intelligence, you have a life bias and you can't see the issue clearly.
Produce. Really? When did I ever say anything about that? We're talking about the philosophy of if it is morally wrong to choose to reproduce. There isn't even a question about people's right. You have not proposed any laws. Are we discussing, should there be a law that you can only have one kid, or you can't have any kids, or you need to...
I don't think the world is ready for, such an open debate about whether there should be a law or not to procreate. I think first of all there needs to be, a wider consciousness about the problematic nature of procreation, and we need to inform people about these alternative means other than just the taken for granted common sense attitude that when you bring new life into the world, it's not a morally problematic endeavor.
Pass a test to have kids. We haven't been so far. We're just discussing the moral ethics, and then people can just decide an ethical decision. We didn't say whether it should be made legal as well, right? You just want to panic about the world, and what the hell are you doing?
Well, how far does human altruism go? I mean, we should bolster our altruism by remaining objective, and rational about considering philosophy in relation to the human condition and in relation to procreation.
Well, I'm so sick of this shit. If you want to tell me I'm not engaged.
And, considering how much pain and suffering there is in the world, if you were sufficiently altruistic enough, then panic might be a reasonable natural reaction to all the pain and suffering that there is in the world. It's just our altruism doesn't stretch that far, because we weren't designed by Mother Nature to have an incredible amount of altruism outside of ourselves and well, not ourselves, because that wouldn't be altruism, but to have altruism beyond the much wider than our immediate family and relatives and friends.
Then you tell me what the hell you do, because I work to do things, local accomplishments in local politics. I've helped with national politics. I've kept myself informed as a citizen. And you're going to tell me, what the hell do you do except for say, well, people shouldn't exist because it's just so hard to be privileged. What if I had cancer?
Well, this sounds suspiciously like an ad hominem attack. I mean, it doesn't matter, what sort of lifestyle an antinatalist has. I mean, that has no impact on whether his arguments stand up to close scrutiny or not. What matters is the consistency and the inherent logical nature or illogical nature of his arguments. And you're dismissing people's suffering here by taking on this whining voice, But this is just a it's just a defense mechanism you're using just to belittle, the horrific pain and suffering that's going on in the world right now. And also, you seem to see like antinatalism as an endeavour that would either fail spectacularly or succeed spectacularly. But of course, there is a middle ground. Even if the human race does not voluntarily discontinue, the entire species, if we could at least significantly reduce the amount of people in this world, that would be a huge positive step forward.
Fuck off.